What would happen if we pitted nearly 50 teams against each other to see who was the best across all these fandoms? Well, I've compiled 48 teams from a league I created when I was younger, and we'll be using this map and a couple of wheels to determine our winner. As we spin the wheels, I'll explain the backstory of each team as they're picked. The wheels decide who attacks, who defends, and how much each team scores with the defender going first. So take a look, pick a team to root for, and let's get right into it. For our first spin, the wheel lands on the Treasure Pilots, and the only team they can attack is the Lobos Dolphins, so let's get into their backstories. For our attackers, the Treasure Pilots are based on this channel right here, and they are an original team from before the realignment, which took out and added a lot of teams. The Pilots have won 2 championships, so watch out for a deep run from them. But first, they have to battle our defenders, the Lobos Dolphins. After digging a bit, I can tell you that the name originated from this post about a map for the Goiki Hurricane season where they are seen here. I think they have a small chance of making a run in this video, but we'll see how well they do against the Pilots. And as we spin the wheel, Lobos scores 24, but the Pilots slip ahead by a point, winning 25-24, so the Dolphins are our first team eliminated. Coming back to our wheel, it picks the Perf Bluebirds attacking to the southwest, lining up our next matchup as they face the Quell State Astros. Now for our backstories. On the attacking side, the Perf Bluebirds were all over the place, beginning as the Cyclones during realignment, but the original Bluebirds folded during this time period and they got rid of the Cyclones name and adopted Bluebirds, so they'll be looking to make a statement in this video. Defending is the Quell State Astros, one of our new teams added during realignment. Obviously based on Quell, the Astros are one of the handful of Dandy's World related teams in the league, and the Astros will attempt to roll here in the second round of this video. With those out of the way, our wheel gives the Astros a 43 burger, and the Bluebirds cannot compete as Quell State cruises 43-21, so bye-bye Bluebirds. The next attacker up is the Vibritech Jackrabbits, who also attack southwest. This means they'll have to match up against the prolific V-State Neon Jets. Our attackers, the Vibritech Jackrabbits, look to cement themselves as a contender in this imperialism, being one of the 2 teams in the entire league to be inspired by a bunny rabbit. The Jackrabbits' in-state counterparts, the Neon Jets, are essentially a blue blood team, winning a championship in 2019. They can win a lot of games, and every year they play Dandy Tech in the battle for the Golden Trinket rivalry. And they'll look for revenge here because they lost to Vibritech in the regular season 46-37. But only the wheel can decide that, and V-State puts up 34. Apparently that's not enough as Vibritech drops 45, giving them an 11-point victory. After that early exit for the Neon Jets, we return to the wheel for round 4 of this video, with the next attacker being the K-Malane Bearcats. They attack due north, so they'll face the Snow Moon Hawks. The K-Malane Bearcats are an OG team in the league. They're solid, but watch out for the rogue Saw Pen shipper in the stands during their games. Speaking of Pen, he can create explosive plays in the run game, so it's easy for them to score. We'll see if the Bearcats can keep the energy against the next team we're covering, the Hawks. The Snow Moon Hawks are yet another team that popped into existence during realignment, representing the Dandy's World segment of the league. Apart from having a sick-looking bird as their logo, trust me, everyone seems to think that. They are pretty good contenders for playoff runs, but only the wheel can tell if they can carry that into this challenge. Our defenders, the Hawks, go first, managing only 18 on the Bearcats. With K-Malane's explosive running game, this will be a cakewalk for them, winning 45-18. With the Hawks gone, our next attackers, the Booknote Lobos, heading south to face the Puppy Rope Crimson Retrievers. The Booknote Lobos may be a controversial team for many, especially considering they're based off of but there is more to this team than just her, as they got to the championship game last year, which they lost. On the other side of things, the Puppy Rope Crimson Retrievers are trying to be the first all-furry team to be successful in the league. They can blow out a lot of teams, so look for them to make waves in this video. Nothing's ever accurate for our wheel, as these explosive teams only combine for 32 points in a 19-13 victory for the Retrievers. As such, Puppy Rope will acquire the Lobos territory. Here's a view of our map as of now, as our wheel lands our next attacker, the Havocy Fighting Shrimps, taking the trip southeast to take on the K-Malane Bearcats. The Havocy Fighting Shrimps are historically horrible. They get blown out by almost every team on their schedule. However, a few decent years shine through the cracks. If they can get success here, look for a Cinderella run from them. As I say that, an upset is exactly what happens, as our wheel favors the Shrimps 49-38, and Havocy eats up the Bearcat stockpile of Great Lakes territory. Our next round takes us to the northwest, where we get a showdown of ducks between the Thorarm Pilot Ducks and the Cirroflakes Ducks. The Thorarm Pilot Ducks are a new team added during realignment, but they have one of the cleanest logos in the league, the team being based off of the channel I'm showing you here. They can also back up their talk, as they have some success most years. On the defending side, the Cirroflakes Ducks are based on the YouTube channel Cirroflakes, and they just chill in the middle of the pack. Not great, but not bad, so depending on the day, they can be a sleeper team to make a deep run in the series. And with the Cirroflakes Ducks 43-31 victory, they'll conquer the Pilot Ducks and reunite Cascadia. In round 8 of this imperialism, the Planet World Dolphins head southwest to face the animation epic Hilltoppers in a New England battle. The Planet World Dolphins are also a team that came about in between the early days of the realignment era, based off another small channel shown here. They are average based on the leads Sanders, but I could see them pulling off this victory. Our defenders, the animation epic Hilltoppers, come in fully loaded with sour cream! That's a lie, but they could win a few playoff games as seen in their history. We'll see how they look in this one. Our wheel gives the Hilltoppers the advantage 31-16, so they'll take over the Dolphins territory in Maine. Our next spin brings us to Nebraska, where the Ace X Bears move southeast to take on the Hyper Crystal Jaguars. The Ace X Bears are blue and yellow, representing, we don't talk about that, but this team was added during the realignment. They can put a dent into a lot of teams' seasons, so watch out for them in this one. On the other side, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Hyper Crystal. They have only had 2 winning seasons since 2010, however, those 2 seasons were certainly a spectacle. And with the Bears winning 46-4 in a definite scoregami, the team in blue will live to see another day. With the Jaguars gone, our next attackers, the Maybe D Knights, going to face the Jack and Jello V Orange. The Maybe D Knights are the epitome of we can win, but we don't feel like it. Named after Wild D, the team frequently wins most of their ranked matchups while simultaneously losing to teams they shouldn't. So their success may depend on the profile of the Jack and Jello V Orange, who are yearly contenders in the league, often getting favorable rankings in the playoffs, so they can win a lot of games, no straw needed. But it seems the Knights' stereotype of winning big games won't hold up, as the Orange win an incredibly confusing 11-5 game, and they'll eat up D's territory in Nevada. As we give the Knights the boot, our wheel lands at the Function Sparky Mountaineers, making the trek north to face the Pawnee State Jesters. The Function Sparky Mountaineers have way more problems than solutions, as they are typically a cupcake for anyone who plays them. Since their inception in 2015, their all-time record is 42-109, with their only playoff appearance being a 35-3 loss to the Hafuki Fighting Shrimps. Meanwhile, the Pawnee State Jesters, added during the 2020 realignment, are basically the Penn State of the league. Irrelevant, irrelevant, irrelevant. They can win games they should win, but whenever they face a team that's not full of senior citizen tortoises, they tip over and die. But this time, the Jesters beat a team they should beat, defeating the Mountaineers 44-38 and taking their territory. So here's our final look at the map for part 1, and this video was very fun to make, and if you want part 2, tell me the team you're rooting for in the comments, like, subscribe, or whatever you tell me to say, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.